90% of traders are overcomplicating their multi-timeframe analysis. So today, I'm revealing a simple but effective TradingView setup that you can implement in just a few minutes to help you make money. Alright, so now let's jump into TradingView and take a look at how this trading strategy can look like in action. But first of all, as you can see right here, I'm currently looking at 3 charts at the same time. And you might be wondering, how do I do this with my own TradingView? Well, what you need to do is that you need to go up here to where it says Layout Setup. And then you can see you can have 1 screen, 2 screens, you can have all the way up to 16 screens, but that is for much more advanced traders. I think a good, as I said, a good, multi-timeframe analysis is, in my opinion, either 3 or 2. So you want to choose, and the one I prefer is this one right here. Some traders prefer to have it on horizontal, but I prefer to have it vertical, so I'm going to choose this one right here. And I can already mention that I'm not sure that this is available on TradingView free, but don't worry, because I do have a special TradingView link that you can use to try out TradingView Premium for free for 30 days, so you can follow along on this video. And after your trial, you will also get a $15 bonus. So make sure to use that link so you can follow along in this video. But what I then did was that I opened up, Bitcoin here on 3 time frames. So right here we have the weekly time frame, and this is where I look out for the long-term trend. Right here I have the daily time frame, and right here what most people will do is to zoom into the 4-hour time frame, but I zoomed in all the way to the 1-hour time frame to find precise entry. But now you won't wonder, okay, so you know that on the weekly time frame we want to look out for the overall trend, and you might wonder, how do we find the overall trend? Well, there are a few different methods, but my favorite method is to use something called market structure. And market structure is basically a concept you use. You don't use any indicators, you basically use specific and mechanical rules to find highs and lows in the market. So for example, right here to the left, you can hopefully see that recently Bitcoin have been in a clear uptrend. You can see we have a low, high, low, high, low, and as long as the price is printing consecutive higher highs and higher lows, we are in an uptrend. And you can see that recently we printed yet another higher high, right? If you are not really confident about market structure, don't worry, because I do have a full market structure trading course right here on YouTube, and I highly recommend to check that one out. But meanwhile, if you're not certain in market structure, you can use some help tools like a moving average. You can see that right here we do have a simple 50 SMA on the chart that can help you identify the trend as well. But when we are done here on the weekly time frame, we have identified that we are in a long-term uptrend on the weekly. Now it's time to move one step further, or one step closer to the chart, and move on to the daily time frame. Here on the daily time frame, we're looking for the sort of overall setup. So you can look out for things like chart patterns. For example, right here on daily, you can see that recently Bitcoin have been, having impulsive moves, pullback, impulsive moves, pullback, impulsive move, pullback. And you can see that this pullback right here was actually pretty much a symmetrical triangle. Or you can also look at this one as a bullish flag, right? We have the impulsive move, the price pullback, and we look for the breakout. And so we identify the chart pattern right here on the daily time frame. By the way, if you need help in identifying chart patterns, don't worry about that, because I do have a full chart pattern course right here on YouTube, and I will make sure to link it up in the video card and the comments below. But alright, so now let's zoom in even more to the 1-hour time frame. And the first thing you can see here on the 1 hour is that we were in a very clear symmetrical triangle. And if we zoom in here, you can also see that we got a very nice breakout, or at least it looked like we had a nice breakout right here, right? However, if you look at this trade, you can actually see that it wasn't really a good trade, or at least it's very possible that you would have gotten stopped out, because let's say you enter right here. Let's say that you use a risk to reward ratio of, 2, or let me actually say that, let's say we place our stop loss below the low right here, risk to reward ratio of 2. You can see that you would have actually failed this trade right here. And this right here is the reality of trading. Not all setups works. But what we can do is that we can look back a little bit here and see, was this really a good breakout? Well, alright, so this video was actually just a very short clip from our full multi-timeframe analysis video right here on YouTube. To watch the full guide, simply click or tap on the screen right here. I hope I'll see you all over there very, very soon.